let's get right into it. We're here to talk about a transformation that isn't some far-off prediction. It's happening right now. In just the first few months of 2026, the entire world of geospatial AI has been turned on its head. Seriously. What felt like an experiment just last Christmas is now the new reality. So how on earth did this all happen so fast?
Look, we are not talking about some slow, gradual evolution here. This has been a massive planet-scale shift that's taken place in, 90 days? From December 2025 through March of this year? The speed is just breathtaking. And you know what's fueling it? An absolutely insane amount of money.
Just let this number sink in for a second. $189 billion. That's how much was poured into AI startups in February 2026 alone. This isn't just a bit of investor interest. This is a full-blown gold rush, and it is pouring gasoline on the fire of this revolution. And this timeline just proves how fast the game is changing. In December, we were all talking about these little experimental pilots. You blink, and it's January, and suddenly major players are launching conversational GIS tools. And now, in March, we're talking about fully mature planet-scale models already being deployed. The entire landscape was redrawn in a single quarter. It's wild.
So what's actually powering all of this? What's the core tech? Well, the best way to think about it isn't as a bunch of separate tools. It's more like we've installed a new cohesive intelligence system for the entire Earth. The planet is, it's literally getting a brain. And with that brain, it's getting a whole new set of senses. And the cornerstone of this new planetary brain, it's Google's AlphaEarth model. This thing is a foundational AI that does something incredible. It takes these massive, messy, complex data types, we're talking radar, 3D, optical imagery, the whole shebang, and it compresses them all into a single, elegant, intelligent layer. It makes the incomprehensible instantly understandable. And the results? They're immediate, and they are staggering. AlphaEarth has already slashed land use classification errors by 24%. That's not just a small improvement, it is a massive leap in accuracy. And let's be real, this technology is just warming up. Now, this new intelligence isn't just stuck on the ground. For years, the biggest headache in this industry was the bandwidth bottleneck. Trying to beam ridiculous amounts of raw data from satellites down to Earth. Well, companies like SpaceX and Amazon have flipped the script. They're putting the AI on the satellites. They've become these smart filters up in orbit, analyzing the data on the spot, and only sending back the important stuff. The traffic jam is over. And this isn't just about what's in the sky. It's also happening deep beneath the waves. Underwater exploration is getting what you could only call a brain transplant. We're seeing generative AI being used for subsea monitoring and these mind-blowing new 3D vision systems for autonomous vehicles that can finally truly see the ocean floor with crystal clarity. Okay, so the tech is way more powerful. We get it. But the really profound change, the thing that changes everything, is how we interact with it. We're moving away from a world where we just use geospatial tools to one where we're actually collaborating with AI teammates. It's a whole new conversation. And this is where it gets really personal for all of us. Back in January, Google rolled out a feature that lets you do exactly this. Ask Google Earth. You can now just type a question in plain English and run complex visual searches across the entire planet's worth of satellite and street view data. Think about that. The whole planet is now a searchable database that you can talk to. But it goes even deeper than that. The next big thing is something called agentic GIS. This is a system where the AI doesn't just wait for you to ask a question. It starts to anticipate your needs. These AI agents are designed to go out, proactively find data, connect the dots between different sensors, and even suggest what actions you should take, all without you lifting a finger. So how does that work in the real world? Well, Dataminer and Esri have basically laid out the roadmap. Picture this. An agent detects a new wildfire starting. It then automatically correlates that with live weather data, population density maps, and traffic sensors. And then it suggests specific, optimized evacuation routes to emergency responders. This is AI as a proactive, life-saving partner. Okay, so we've got these planet-scale models. We've got autonomous AI agents, which brings us to the single most important question in all of this. What does this actually mean for the geospatial workforce? More importantly, what does this mean for you? Well, for starters, that classic GIS analyst job title, it's quickly fragmenting, breaking apart into these new, highly specialized roles. We're talking about jobs like digital twin engineers who are building living, breathing 4D replicas of entire cities. That means 3D models that are constantly updating in real time. Or how about spatial agent orchestrators, whose whole job is to manage and direct fleets of these AI agents? And if you want to land one of these new roles, you have to know that the skill set has completely changed. Being good at Python and SQL, that's not a bonus anymore. It's the baseline, pretty much mandatory for half of the new openings. And beyond that, there's huge demand for wild stuff like Gaussian Splatting, which is how you create those insane, lifelike 3D worlds. And maybe most importantly, ethical AI governance, making sure these incredibly powerful models are used fairly and aren't running wild.
Which brings us to a pretty stark economic reality. This whole technological shift is creating some absolutely incredible opportunities for sure. But it also comes with a very clear, very loud warning. You either adapt or you seriously risk becoming obsolete.
Let's start with the good news, the opportunity. Professionals who have the right mix of skills are commanding a huge salary premium. We're talking 30 to 50% more than their peers. That's a life-changing difference. So who's getting this payday? They're being called hybrid experts. This isn't just someone who knows AI, it's someone who can combine that AI fluency with deep expertise in another field. You know, like a hydrologist who can build their own AI-powered flood models, or an urban planner who can actually orchestrate AI agents to manage a city better. That's the winning ticket.
But there's another side to this coin. While these new, high-paying jobs are being created, this revolution is also eliminating roles. And we're not talking about a small number. We're already seeing tens of thousands of positions being displaced.
And we know exactly which jobs are on the chopping block. It's the routine, manual labor. As these automated, high-resolution maps become the global standard, those entry-level jobs that are all about manual data entry and digitizing, they are vanishing. And they are vanishing fast. So, as we look at what's coming, the message is pretty much unavoidable. The industry has fundamentally, irreversibly changed. And that puts the choice of what to do next squarely on the shoulders of every single one of us. This quote just nails it, doesn't it? The geospatial industry is no longer about drawing lines on a map. It's about orchestrating the AI that does. The value isn't in the manual task anymore. It's in the strategic thinking, directing the intelligent systems that can now do that work at a global scale in an instant. And you know, for the people who make that pivot, who learn to be orchestrators, the opportunities are just enormous, and they go way beyond traditional mapping. These same skills are now red hot in climate science, in algorithmic trading for finance, and in massive global sustainability efforts. New doors are flying open. So that brings us to the final question, the one you have to ask yourself. The tools of 2026 are not science fiction. They are here right now, just waiting for instructions. So are you prepared to make that leap? To go from being a map maker to becoming a spatial architect? The next move is yours.